Hey, what's up, Reefers? I'm Reef and welcome back to the Reef Cave. Well, it's been a minute since I did a video. I've actually been taking a little break here in the summer. Last weekend, I went to Reefapalooza New York, and I had an awesome time, like my shirt. Today's video will be about that trip. I sort of did a little video on it. I just captured some footage and stuff, but I had an awesome time, and I can't wait to share it with you. Let's check it out. And here's the entrance to the show. There's actually a parking garage underneath, and you just come up these stairs, or there is a ramp as well. And inside, there was no shortage of coral whatsoever. There were a lot of vendors here, and it took a while just to see them all. Actually, I don't even think I've seen them all because I was only here for one day. I walked around for a few hours before I even decided to, take some video shots, but just look at these coral. They were just simply amazing. Hey Reefers, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, now's a great time to do so. I have a lot in store and you don't want to miss it, so now's your chance. Yeah, this vendor has some cool scolies and other coral. I mean, look, check these out. And anyone who is anyone was at this show as well. You might recognize this fella here, Ryan Batchelor from BRS or Serious Reefs. He was also there with his crew. And there was no shortage of reefing shenanigans either. Check out this parade. These guys just caught me by surprise. I turned around and they were right there. And it's no secret that I love zoas, so I was real happy to see that tank. And here's a general view of the crowd at the Reef and Bid table. They're actively placing bids on some coral and stuff. And you might recognize this company here, Aperture Pet and Life. I got to see their display and it was pretty cool. I have a few of these products myself, so I was looking at them and seeing how they display them, and it looks pretty nice. And here's SBB Corals. You may have heard of them. He had a lot of awesome acros in here. Look at those. I was sitting there drooling all over those for a while, and also the other coral too. All right, and here's the reason why I went to the show to begin with. I wanted to meet David Hammondtree, or Rev, if you know him from Reef to Reef, and also his family, and these guys were awesome. They let me hang out behind the booth. They hooked me up with a vendor badge, and I just had a really awesome time. And these guys were hooking everybody up with those coral glasses and bags and stuff too, so it was really cool. There's some of the Reef to Reef crew there, talking with some of the reefers, and there's me. I got to hang out behind the table too. And I even got to put some of my stickers out too. Check that out. And here's Mr. Bingley, the awesome Reef to Reef dog. When I got to this table, I just had to take a look. I was in the mood to buy something, even though I really didn't from the show, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. They had a lot of coral here, so I had to stop and check it out. A lot of good stuff, as you can see here. And like I said, there was a lot of vendors. This is just one of them. And here's some more cool acros and other coral. These caught my eye as well. And after a while, I just kind of stepped back and I was just checking out the crowd and seeing how people were enjoying themselves. And everybody seemed to have a really good time. And this show floor is massive. I mean, there's just aisles and aisles of vendors. So it is definitely something that you want to take the full 2 days if you come, if you can. And as I was heading towards the eShops booth, I saw it. That is going to be my tank someday. That is the eShops Mariner 100. That's the Peninsula, and that's the tank I want. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they had a huge raffle. There were a ton of prizes, there's a ton of people, and they all looked like they had a ball too. And now to get into some Euphilia and Fimbriophilia, check these out. There was no shortage of these at the show either, and I was really drawn to this table. Yeah, I would love to be a vendor at one of these shows myself, but they are super expensive. They have high table fees because, the location and the size of the show. But I mean, hats off to these guys. These guys did a great job. And it was just like, no matter where you look, there was just coral on top of coral on top of coral. And it was really hard to decide, where to get your coral and which ones you wanted to see because there was just so many of them. Got him. That's Terrence Fagazi. He used to work for Neptune Systems. And now he was hanging out here. They had some kind of products that they made with like some frag racks and stuff. I forgot the name of the product, but this was the Saltwater Aquarium.com booth, and they had a lot of cool things here too. Now I don't have the Hydros, but I just wanted to check out their display and see what all the fuss was about. But this stuff looked pretty cool. I like how they make it visual appealing as well as functional. It kind of just gives it a little something extra. But however, I've never actually used this, so I'm not familiar with the programming and stuff, but I've heard good things about it. And here's another look at the reef and bin table. I was able to get in there and see what is inside the tank and what was all the fuss. And you may have heard of this company, Marco Rocks. Of course you have. This is where you can get some of the rocks for your tank, and they make really cool shelf rock and other things, and they even had a competition too. But it was just cool to see all the different products that they had. And here's another company that makes some rock for your tank, Chandler Rocks. They had a really cool display. Check that out. It got me thinking maybe I should give a little more thought into my aquascape as well. And this thing was cool too, just watching the little macroalgae spinning around and around. It was like a little carousel. I thought that was pretty neat. And there was no shortage of dry goods as well, so you could talk to the vendors and get some help with some of the products. And like I said, it's just wall-to-wall coral. It was really tempting. However, I have a ton of coral, but I was really looking. I got to be honest. I was like, I just couldn't do it. But I don't blame people for going crazy at these shows with this stuff. I mean, it was just awesome. And once again, on my way out, I had to stop and peek, but I couldn't pull the trigger. So I just get the look, but what a show. And Hanna Instruments was there. They had a lot of their testers and reagents, so that was a great place to fill up if you were low on any reagents or anything, or if you're looking to get a new tester. And I did stop at the Reefapalooza merch booth and picked up a shirt. It was well worth the price too. So another highlight of my trip is I got to meet Julian Sprung, and I got a couple of his books. These are sort of older books, they're like 30 years old. But what was really cool is I bought them and he was like, hey, you want me to sign them? I'm like, oh, you'd do that for me? And sure enough, check this out. There's one there. This is volume 1. And I got volume 2. And he signed that one too. Check that out. So I can't wait to get into these and read these. Even though, you know, they're a little outdated, there's still some good info in these books. And it still applies to reefing today, so I can't wait to have a look at them. I want to give a special thank you to David Hammondtree. Thank you for letting me hang out with you and your family at the Reef to Reef booth. It was really awesome to, you know, get a vendor badge and to hang out with you guys and just be a part of the show. So I really appreciate it. Well, that'll do it for this video. I'm Reefer Matt. Thank you for watching and happy reefing.